Are you ready to transform your life and discover the true power of inner peace? In this video, we're exploring the 7 things highly spiritual people quit slowly to reach a higher state of mind. These are the hidden habits that hold most of us back. If you're looking to break free from what no longer serves you and find deeper meaning, stay tuned. These lessons could be the game changer you've been searching for. Lesson 1. They stop speaking poorly to themselves. People who have a strong spiritual connection immediately learn to stop criticizing themselves. It's easy to be your own worst judge. There is a voice inside everyone that tells them about their flaws, mistakes, and feelings of insecurity. If you don't stop it, this speech can do a lot of damage. It's like having a bully in your head who tells you all the time that you're not smart enough, talented enough, or deserving of love and success. Over time, spiritual people learn to shut down this harsh voice and replace it with a nicer, more caring one. They understand that their self-talk influences their emotions and actions. If you tell yourself negative things over and over, you start to believe them. This hurts your self-esteem and health in general. To stop this negative self-talk, you must first become aware of it. Start by focusing on the thoughts you have about yourself. Pay attention to whether you are being too harsh or negative. Stop and take a deep breath when you notice that you are having a negative thought. Take note of the thought, but don't get attached to it. Change your thought to one that is more positive and helpful. If you find yourself thinking, "I'd always mess things up," stop and change your thought to, "I am human, and it's okay to make mistakes. Every day, I learn and grow." This small change in words can make you feel different about yourself. Self-compassion is something that very spiritual people do. They know that mistakes are a normal part of being human, and that everyone makes them. They are kind and understanding to themselves, just like they would be with a friend, instead of being harsh on themselves for what they do wrong. This change from judging yourself to loving yourself is life-changing. It helps you overcome past hurts and move on with peace of mind. Spiritual people also understand that their thoughts shape their world. When they are kind to themselves, they develop a positive attitude that brings them beneficial things. They know that they are in charge of their lives, and that a good relationship with oneself is the first step to a good life. Buddhism teaches, you deserve your love and affection as much as anyone else in the universe. This serves as a reminder that self-love is not selfish, but essential. If you stop talking badly to yourself, you can have a better, more loving connection with yourself. To grow spiritually, you must first do this. Lesson 2. They let go of judging and criticizing. The second thing that very spiritual people slowly give up on is judging and blaming others. People often form opinions about others based on what they do say or even look. But these opinions are often based on little or no evidence and can make people feel separate and alone. People who are spiritual know that everyone is on a different path. They know that each person has their own problems, fears, and dreams. Trying to judge someone without knowing their situation is wrong and prevents personal growth. It keeps you stuck in a loop of negative feelings and stops you from seeing the good in other people. There's a good chance that what you say about someone says more about you than about them. It shows your own doubts, fears, and preferences. For example, if you find yourself judging someone for their success, it could mean that you are afraid of not being effective enough or are jealous of them. With this knowledge, you can address your judgment's cause and fix it. To stop judging, you should first practice kindness. If you are about to judge someone, try to see things from their point of view. Think about what this person might be going through right now. This straightforward activity can change the way you see the person and help you see them with kindness instead of judgment. People who are spiritual also ignore others' opinions. They know that what they think is just that, their opinion. They're not true. When they give up the need to be right or the need to force their ideas on other people, they are free from judgment. This makes people feel open and accepted, which leads to deeper, more meaningful relationships with others. Right view is a Buddhist teaching that tells people to see the world as it truly is, without their own biases and prejudices getting in the way. This lesson helps us remember that everyone is doing their best with the information and tools they have. When we learn about life, we can stop judging it and replace it with compassion. Letting go of your opinion doesn't mean you have to agree with or excuse everything everyone does. It simply means realizing that everyone is on their own path and that what they do reflects what they are thinking and feeling at the moment. You make room for love, understanding, and respect to grow when you let go of judgment. Lesson 3. They release old grudges and forgive. Holding anger is the third harmful habit that very spiritual people slowly break. When someone has hurt you, holding on to anger, hatred, or bitterness can be very draining. It stops you from moving on and keeps you stuck in the past. It's like giving someone poison and expecting them to get sick. Forgiving someone is a strong way to free yourself. In no way does that mean what they did was okay. It means you've decided to let go of the negative feelings you have about the event in order to be at peace. Those with a strong spiritual connection understand that harboring resentment causes them pain. They choose to let go of this load so they can live a free and joyful life. Making the choice to forgive is the first step. To let go of the past and stop living through the pain is a choice. It might be challenging to go through this process if the hurt was good or if it came from someone close to you. You are not freeing the other person when you choose to forgive them. You are freeing yourself. Forgiving someone requires honesty about your feelings. Feel the hurt, anger, and sadness that you're going through. Trying to hide these feelings won't make them go away, they'll only get worse. Once you're aware of how you feel, let them out in a healthy way, like writing a book, talking to a friend you trust, or doing something creative. After you've talked about how you feel, try to look at things from a higher level. Question yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from it? A lot of the time, the hardest things we go through are the best teachers. They make us stronger, more empathetic, and smarter. People who are very spiritual also forgive themselves. They acknowledge their imperfections and acknowledge that they have made mistakes. They are free from guilt and shame when they forgive themselves. This gives them a lighter heart and a better mind as they go on. In loving kindness meditation, a Buddhist practice, you send love and kindness to yourself, to other people, and even to people who have hurt you. This helps you develop a heart that can accept and understand. You know you have forgiven someone when you can wish them happiness and peace. You can't just let go of your feelings overnight. The process of letting go takes time, but every time you forgive, you get some of your peace and joy back. This really shows how strong you are spiritually. Lesson 4. They prioritize inner peace over possessions. The fourth thing that very spiritual people slowly give up is their connection to material things. It's straightforward to think that the things we own, like cars, clothes, gadgets, and even our social status, make us happy. Conversely, spiritual individuals understand that material possessions cannot bring happiness. It comes from inside. You set yourself up for failure by basing your happiness on assets. Matter-based items are fleeting and susceptible to breakage, loss, or theft. In addition, the pleasure they give is short-lived. When you get something new, you might be pleased for a short time, but that happiness quickly fades, leaving you wanting more. People who are deeply spiritual understand that the pursuit of material possessions can spiral into an endless cycle. People who follow this path don't look for happiness in things, but rather inner peace. They care more about relationships than about things and events in terms of status. They spend their time and energy on things that are beneficial for their soul, like helping others, meditating, and being in nature. Start by making your life easier if you want to find inner peace. Look at what you own and ask yourself, do I really need this? Does this make me happy, or is it just taking up space? Let go of things that don't help you anymore. It can be freeing to go through this process because it makes room for deeper experiences. People who are very spiritual also show thanks. Rather than dwelling on their lack, they express gratitude for what they already possess. Because of this change of perspective, they can be happy in the present. Being thankful for what you have helps you realize that you have enough. This makes you feel peaceful and full. Buddhism's right livelihood teaches people to live a moral, meaningful, and ideal life. This lesson tells us that what we own doesn't make us valuable. However, this is determined by how we live and treat others. This idea is what we follow when we put inner peace ahead of material things. Remember that letting go of your attachments to things doesn't mean you have to live in poverty or give up everything in the world. It just means you don't depend on them for your happiness. It's possible to enjoy things without becoming attached to them. This balance allows you to live comfortably and happily no matter what. Putting inner peace ahead of material things will help you live a life with lots of meaning and purpose. You realize that happiness comes from being yourself, not having. Lesson 5. They stop needing validation from others. Very spiritual people gradually shed their fifth habit, which is the need for approval from others. People naturally seek approval and light from others. Everyone desires approval and care from others. You give up your power, though, when your sense of self-worth rests on what other people think. People who are very spiritual know that their real sense of self-worth comes from inside. They know their values and importance, so they don't need others to tell them. That doesn't mean they're cocky or closed-minded. They remain steadfast in their convictions and disregard the opinions of others. We often need approval because we don't accept ourselves. When you don't fully accept yourself, you look to other people to make you feel better. When they like you, they make you feel good about yourself. You can't win this game because no one will be happy. What one person likes, someone else might not like. If you rely on other people for approval, you will always be dependent on what they think. To get rid of this bad habit, make yourself feel good first. Spend some time getting to know yourself, including your skills, habits, and what you love. You will need other people to support you less and less as you get to know and accept yourself better. Recognizing your traits and accomplishments is a way to practice self-affirmation. Honor yourself for what you are, not what other people think of you. People who are very spiritual also try to stay away from praise and criticism. They know that neither is absolute truth, but rather a mirror of other people's views. They derive satisfaction from the compliments they receive. However, they refrain from allowing them to elevate their self-esteem. In the same way, they listen to feedback with an open mind and don't let it make them feel negative about their own worth. There is a Buddhist teaching called the 8 Worldly Winds. It talks about the 8 things that can change our lives: gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disrepute, joy and pain. The goal is to keep things in balance and not let these changed circumstances get to you too much. You stay grounded and at peace when you don't care about praise or blame. Releasing yourself from the need for validation does not imply a lack of concern for others. This means you stop letting what they say about you define you. Though you can still value feedback and praise, your sense of self-worth comes from inside you, not from other people. When you stop seeking approval, you regain your power. It's akin to crafting your own narrative, allowing you to live authentically. This is what mental freedom is all about. Lesson 6. They choose mindful responses over reactions. Being rash is the 6th thing that very spiritual people slowly stop doing. It's straightforward to act out of anger, fear, or rage when things are hard. Often, these responses happen without thinking, and they can make you feel bad. People with a lot of spirituality learn to stop and think about what they want to say before they speak. When you are aware and calm, you can respond in a mindful way. They help you act in a way that fits your beliefs and the situation. This doesn't mean keeping your feelings inside. It means recognizing them, but not letting them run your life. Becoming more self-aware is the first step in picking mindful responses. This means being aware of your feelings, thoughts, and body reactions right now. Take a deep breath and stop when you feel yourself getting upset. Just pausing for a moment can make a huge difference. It allows you to consider the situation and choose a well-considered answer. People who are very spiritual also try to understand and empathize with others. They try to understand how the other person feels about things. In turn, this helps them answer with kindness instead of anger or defensiveness. For example, if someone says something hurtful, they might refrain from responding with something hurtful and instead say, "What you said hurt me. Could we talk about it?" Buddhism teaches people to speak in a way that is honest, kind, and helpful. This lesson helps us remember that what we say has power. They can hurt, heal, split, or bring people together. When we respond with awareness, we can use our words to build peace and understanding. Being mindful also means being aware of how we react to our own feelings and thoughts. When a negative thought or feeling comes up, highly spiritual people don't fight it or judge it. Instead, they watch it with interest and acceptance. Why do I feel this way? They ask themselves. What is this feeling trying to tell me? This practice of self-inquiry helps them understand their inner world and handle their feelings in a healthy way. It takes time and practice to learn how to respond mindfully instead of reacting. It is not important. It involves recognizing and choosing how to handle life's challenges. Every time you choose a mindful reaction, you make yourself more peaceful and strong. Lesson 7. They let go of excessive worry and live in the present. Worrying excessively is a bad habit that very pious people slowly break. You can lose touch with the present by worrying about the future or past. It causes anxiety, stress, and keeps you from enjoying life. People who are very pious know that we only have this moment. They work to let go of fears about things they can't change and be fully present. But that doesn't mean they aren't careful or don't plan for the future. It means they only think about what they can do right now and hope that everything will work out. Start practicing mindfulness to let go of too much fear. As you contemplate, become aware of the moment when you begin to feel anxious. Ask yourself, can I do something about this? If not, what can I do right now to calm myself down? Bring your attention back to the present. Do things that make you content and calm, like going for a walk in the woods, relaxing, or spending time with people you care about. Acceptance is something that very spiritual people do. They know that life is uncertain and that things won't always go as planned. They know that worrying doesn't change what will happen. It only makes things worse in the moment. They find peace, even though they don't know what will happen, because they accept what is. Impermanence is a Buddhist teaching that helps us remember that everything in life is constantly changing. Nothing is ever the same, not our happiness, not our sadness, not even our problems. Knowing this allows us to release our attachment to outcomes and embrace the natural course of life. If you stop worrying too much, that doesn't mean you stop thinking about the future. It means that you no longer let your fear of the future rule your life. Leave the past behind and trust the present. You can live fully in the present because it makes you feel free and at peace. If you let go of too much worry, you can enjoy the beauty and prospects of the present moment. You discover that life is to be loved and appreciated. These are the 7 things that very pious people slowly give up. It's a trip, not a place to end up. When you let go of these habits, you make room in your life for peace, joy, and spiritual growth. Don't forget that every little step you take toward letting go is a step toward a better, more worthwhile life.